Hi, I'm Jenna. I'm a diamond, double diamond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her hubby has an account too. So does mine. My hubby's a double too. So, um, okay, so we decided that this would just be a good idea to do a question answer and see what you guys need. And instead of having like someone speak, we wanted to speak to you about what you guys needed. So the first question is, did you focus on multiple products when you started, or did you pick one and learn and use and drive that one? I'll speak on this for myself. So when I joined the first time, I was 9 months pregnant and I couldn't really use anything. So I legit was ignorance on fire. And I was like, everybody needs a wrap. Like, you need to tone, tight, and firm. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, you do not need to use the products in order to be successful. I mean, it's obviously encouraged to use the products, but you do not need to when you first start, just because you might not have the income for it. You obviously started to make an income, so get that $150 shopping spree. But to answer the question, I focus on the heavy hitters. So like hair, skin, nails, Skinny Brew, Keto Coffee, Greens, TFX, and Cleanse. Like, I focus on specifically those because I want my customers to see multiple times me posting the same thing. And if you don't have the coffee, guess what? They don't know what's in your mug. So tomorrow morning, hold up your cup and be like, this is so good, my fat burning coffee, and do it every single day. And people are going to be like, what is she drinking? What did you do, Jenna?
Same thing. I signed up as a distributor and had never tried anything before. So same thing. I had like regular coffee. I had never even tried it, but I'm like, the Skinny Brew is great.
Yeah.
That was like the main thing. That's what I wanted to start with. I wanted to kind of get comfortable with one promote.
Yeah.
And then once I, got my shopping spree, I started using different things. I personally liked using the stuff before I was promoting it, just so then if people had questions, I felt more comfortable answering that. But same thing, there's stuff that I talk about. I've never used the wraps before, but I see how well they work. I know. I know.
You don't need them. That's why. I'm
love
over here.
them. I mean, Florida, hello.
This is true. No,
So,
I agree with that. But
yeah,
if you
but
are someone, well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, if you are someone who's like, I can't use any of the products
Yeah.
or I can't promote them because I don't know it. Like, no,
Right.
Stop waiting for your shopping spree. Stop waiting and just start posting. Because let me tell you what, there are tons of resources for you. Pinterest has before and afters. They have posts. They have stories. Our team page is pumped up with all the things you need to know. And hopefully your enroller or your diamond leader is there to help you with any script you might need. So you don't even need to know the information. I remember I used to text Kara and I was like, what's the coffee? And then sooner or later I started to use text. Like, I remember it was conference and I was like, how are you sending so many texts to Brooke? She goes, oh, I use text replacements. If you're not using text replacements, y'all get on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it becomes a lot easier when you get comfortable with the knowledge of the products, whether or not you've tried it. I always act like every single product is my favorite because I've seen what they can do for me and I've seen what they can do for other people. Okay. Obviously experience helps, but if you are new, if you're excited, your followers are going to be excited. But if you're like timid and you're like shy about it, then like they're going to feel that and they're not going to buy from you. So they're going to buy from you if you're excited. So just be super duper excited and act like there's sunshine and roses coming out your butt. Okay.
And like you said, Pinterest is huge. Somebody had asked me like how you use the fat fuel. Went on there, they have recipes, they have 6 ways you can use it. So even though I haven't like actually personally used that, you're able to tell your customers like these are X, Y, and Z how you can use it. So there's so many different resources. You just have to take a look for them.
Okay, so Renee asked, where do we go to learn more about the product? So my best advice for you for that is just to like spend time. Like, I know there's people who print off like every single product sheet and make like a binder. I think Anna did that when she first started. And like she probably just like fingered through it and like flipped through it every day or whatever to learn it. But for me, it was just repetitive and learning about things. I learned about things when people asked me about them. Okay. So like people aren't going to ask you about the cleanse unless you're posting about the cleanse. Okay.
Right.
So when you post about something, then make sure that you're reading up on it. Okay. Like don't be like, oh shit, I just posted about hydrate and I know nothing about it. Like it's okay if you do post about stuff that you don't know about, because we're all here to help you. So you don't have to know everything. I always recommend my new distributors pick like 1 to 3 products that they want to learn about and use themselves, and learn everything they can about that, so they feel really confident when they post and somebody's interested. So that's my best advice for you, is to find like 1 to 3. The next question is about working full time, Jenna.
Got that one.
Yeah, you go, girl.
When I obviously started, it's overwhelming because you're trying to figure out like a new routine. So what worked for me was in a planner, just so I could kind of black out my day. Now that's kind of out the window because you just kind of have to go with it. But in the beginning, what I did was, before I would get to work, I would put up a story with a poll. Polls are huge. I've said this before, because then at lunchtime or when you get out of work, those people that are responding to your polls, those are the people that you're investing your time with, that you're, working and sending information on, rather than just, cold messaging 100 people. Okay, I have these 5 people who are interested. I'm gonna, double down, message them, send out info. And then when I come home, pretty much what I do
6 months or the next 3 months, because what you're going to do right now is going to come to fruition in January. We all know that. Then you need to focus on the future and you need to set those goals. I remember the second time I came in 2018, my goal literally was to not go back to school the next year. And I retired myself in 6 months. I said, nope, done. I quadrupled my income. Like, nope, I'm never going back. And then I'll be honest, raise your hand, drop a 1 if you're a mom, drop a 1 and 2 if you work from home and you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dog mom, because I know we got some of those too. So when you're home, it's a whole different kind of discipline. Okay. So let's just talk about that for a minute, because it was easier for me to work the business when I was working because I had to schedule it in. And now if I don't wake up at 6 a.m., like the past 2 days, sorry team, I've been real lazy. My kids, like, I literally just drove for 45 minutes with the baby because he won't fall asleep. So I took a drive with him. I just was like, nope, not doing it tonight. We're going for a drive. And because it's too cold to go for a walk. But anyways, you cannot plan your day with 3 children. I have a 6-year-old, 2-year-old, and 4-month-old. And like literally we're moving and I'm just trying to keep people alive. And it's like, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. So you're going to have to stay up later. You're going to have to wake up earlier. If you want things to happen for your business, you're going to have to invest. I never say sacrifice. I say you're going to have to invest time in doing the hard things and doing the messaging, the interacting, the KPI list, the stuff that you don't want to do. But guess what, you guys? This is what you signed up for. Like, reality check. Like, you want to change your life. So do the work that needs to be done in order to change it. Okay? All right, next question. Let's see. I think, Jenna, you answer this one. It's really good. It's, what's the best way to start off this biz? Or to start this business off? What do you think, Jenna?
I think what I did differently, I've done a different side hustle in the past, and I didn't do very well with that. And reason why was I would do something, I'd post something, and then I'd wait like a week before I would post something else. And then I was like, why is nobody, out my front door? Why are they not asking for this product? So one of the things that I was like, okay, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to go 110% in. I try every day to get something up. If it's in my story, if it is, that was my goal. I was like, okay, I'm posting daily because I want people to see I'm committed to this company. Because if I'm not showing them I'm committed, they're not going to be committed to the product. So one of the things that I told myself was, you need to do this every day, and you need to put in work. So, just putting up a post, that's not gonna, that's not gonna get you to double diamond. You need to send out those messages. And there's a reason why we pound the KPI list down every day, because that is literally what I try and do every day. And if you can do that, if you follow those steps, you put in the work, and yes, it is work. And I like somebody saying the other day, we shouldn't talk about how easy this is, because it's work. And if you come in here thinking like, oh, this is the easiest thing, I'm going to make all this money, you're going to be let down, because if you don't put in the work, you're not going to see the results you want. But I think if you, obviously go 110% fully commit, I think that right from the get-go.
Yeah, I always relate it to weight loss. Okay, drop a 3 if you've ever tried to go on a weight loss journey, because that shit's hard, and I've done it twice now, and I've given up on myself like 8 times this time. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a decision. I'm gonna do it. Anna, you inspired me this morning. Your post. Okay, so I always relate it to weight loss. We always want to eat one salad and then wake up a size 2, and it's just not how it happens. You have to put in the work to lose weight, and then you have to maintain it. Who's ever gotten to a rank and lost it? Drop a 4. We're going to do the number game tonight. Just get real with us, sisters. I got a 4 up there. So here, this is the deal. You can't get to a certain point, okay, in weight loss. When you get to that point, they don't talk about how hard it is to maintain the weight that you wanted to get to. Because then you're like, I'm just going to have a cheeseburger. It's just one. And then you're like 8 cheeseburgers deep. You're like elbows deep in cheeseburgers. And you're like, shit, might as well have another cheeseburger tomorrow. You know what I mean? Add a Diet Coke. Make it an extra large. Add a fry too. So this is the thing, is you have to commit. It is hard because you have to commit to it. And you have to get real with yourself. Okay? And hopefully it's your time to get there. Okay. So hopefully you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're like, she told me to commit, so I'm going to do this. And Jenna's so right. You can't expect someone to want to purchase from you if you're only posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You have to do a Sunday through Saturday, because that's just like what it is, 7 days a week, 24/7. And I'm not saying you need to be on your phone that long. I'm just saying when you first start, you need to dive in. And you're like, Stacy, I don't know what to post. Guess what? I want you to go to the team page. The team page has everything that you need on it. Okay. It truly, truly does. Like, it's a great resource. Or go to your enroller. The worst thing you can do is not talk to your enroller every day. I love it when someone says, hey, can I get a post? Hey, can I get a post? I'm like, yeah, still the one that I just posted. Like, I don't care. Whatever you see us post, it is fair game. We want you to take what we're doing. We want you to copy us, okay? Or not us, but like just anyone who inspires you, do what they do, okay? I hope we answered that one. But you really just have to jump in, commit to it, and get started. And understand that no matter what is holding you back, there's always going to be something holding you back. There's always going to be a new fear, because when you get to a new level, you get to a new devil. Okay. There's always like something that's going to hold you back. Right now, mine is presidential. It's 100,000 volume, and it's like scaring the shit out of me. And it feels like a mountain right now. But I just told my team last week, I said, when you got to Ruby, it felt so good. And then you got to Diamond, and it felt so good. And Ruby felt so far away. And then when you're going to go double Diamond, Diamond's going to feel so far away. But that's just how the business is. It's just you keep going. So you just have to get started, set those goals, do the work, and keep going. How do you keep your follow-ups organized, and how often are you reaching back? For me personally, I have been working on hosted posts. I haven't posted them in like the thread yet, but I haven't posted them in the entries thread. I need to do that. But when I'm really grinding hosted posts, I'm talking to like literally like 40 to 50 people a day who are interested in products. Okay. And if you're not utilizing hosted posts, you totally should be. And it's hard to manage those follow-ups. But what I do is I just have a note in my iPad, and I just write down the follow-ups. I go through it every single night, and I write those down. and then I reach back to them. Like the people I wrote down like 2 days ago, I reached back to them today, and literally I just sent, hey girl, I have 2 spots open. Are you in or do you need more time? I didn't want to say no because like then they're like, oh, I'm out forever. I'm like, or do you need more time? So that's how I follow up. They used to push like follow up Fridays and do it all in one day just because it's like payday. But I like just to check in with people to say like, hey, are you still, you know what I mean? Not, are you still interested, but do you need more time? How do you manage follow-ups, Jenna?
There's also that host to post tracker that I use. That is a really good, and I have the dates that I have the person put up the post. So I just kind of go through, I put notes next to the customers, like same thing you said. If they say, hey, can you reach out to me on Friday? I'll put a little note next to their name so I know when to like reach back out. But yeah, I use that tracker. And then in terms of like follow-ups with my customers, like current customers, I recently, I don't know why I waited so long, I just started using from the Connect app, just sending out messages, just like, hey, how's it going? And I can send, you know, I don't know, like a one script, and it sends it out to all my customers, and it's amazing because I was doing that individually and that was taking forever. And then once I found that, that was like a great, I just felt bad not checking in with them, not following up with them. Because obviously, yes, you know, you want to follow up with new customers, but you also want to follow up with the people using your product. So that was kind of where I was slacking in terms of making sure my customers that already committed to using the products were happy and seeing results, because if they weren't, then I wanted to find something that would work better for them.
Yeah, that's good. And if you guys haven't utilized your voice memo on your phone, I know on iPhones they have this voice memo feature where you can record one message. So you can be like, hey girl, I'm just checking back in with you. I know you were super interested in the business and you had some hesitations. Just curious if, you're ready to get started, or whatever the messages you want to send. And you can save that, and then you can message 20 people the same voice message. So instead of going into one message, every message, and recording the same voice message, you legit can send the same voice message to 20 people, and it doesn't group text them. It sends them out. And I do this on Facebook. I just started doing it this week. And that was a game changer too, but just because it let them hear their voice. And I did it with products too. Okay. So, Brooke said if someone tells me they're going to order on a certain date. Yeah. So on your phone, you have a calendar. Anytime I just have 2 for Friday. So I put like Tina and I don't know, Sarah. And so I put in my phone, Friday, follow up with Tina and Sarah. Or you can say like, Suri, remind me on Friday to follow up with Sarah and Tina. Okay. So being smarter, not harder. That's how I like to follow up. Instagram, how do you keep your following under control when we're aiming to add 200 people a day? What are you using to determine to unfollow someone? I totally gave up on this. I don't know if Katie, you might have something to add to this, but there's a little interact button that says these are the 50 people you haven't interacted with recently. And so I just unfollow them, 200 of them a day.
Whenever I'm messaging and just interacting and stuff, I go to who I'm following, and then I'll organize it by earliest or latest, whichever one. And then I'll go down the list, and I will either interact, message, or unfollow. So I'll unfollow them if they've never responded to me, or they just look like some people are creepers that you end up following somehow, or random from other countries.
No, I agree. So, anytime someone, especially this time of year when people are real loud about who they're voting for and all this stuff, and not even that I don't have the same views as them, but if it's just vulgar stuff that I'm I don't I wouldn't be friends with you in real life, I really don't want you following me. And you know what I mean? So that's how I gauge unfollowing too, because sometimes I'm just scrolling and I'm like, oh God, what's that? You know what I mean? That's how I gauge it. Jenna, do you do anything different?
No, I used to be really nervous, and I would keep it if I was following 1,000 people, I only wanted to be pretty even. And now I'm I don't care. If it's higher, it's higher. I do go through occasionally and kind of try and even them out a little, but I used to be nervous. I don't want to follow more people than were following me. And there's really, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I have almost 10,000 followers, and I'm following 6,000. You can't, however, follow more than 7,500 because I got to that point and I was like, why can't I follow anybody else? And I didn't know for like 3 months. And then Kara was like, dude, you can't follow anybody because you're at your max. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta like, bye. Like, bye, see ya. I do the same thing on Facebook though. Like if someone's content is not bringing me joy, that has been like my word lately. I'm like, if they are not making me smile, I don't want you on my timeline. Like, bye, Felicia. And the thing with Facebook and unfriending, a lot of the stuff I do put up is public when it comes to the business. You know, if I put up a cleanse post, it'll be public. So if they go to my page, it's not gonna be like, oh God, she unfriended me. But, you know, I do it that way. Let's see what the next one. Do you create all your content as you go, or do you create a bunch at a time? I would love to say that I'm organized enough to create a ton at a time, but I'm just not there yet because my life's a shit show. And I just fly by the seat of my pants. I literally opened up my TikTok the other day and I was like, damn, I should do my hair. I like literally have a messy bun in every picture. I was like, we gotta show TikTok what's up. So I did one of these ones and did my hair. And it was so funny because somebody messaged me. They're like, oh my God, your hair's so cute. So I might do like a curl tutorial or something. But anyways, I don't know why I would do that because I like never curl my hair. But anyways, yeah, I do it every day. If I'm in my robe and no bra, I do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
don't really
do.
care.
I do it daily. I just kind of.
I do think I'd like to get to a point where I can do batch things like Jade says. Jade always recommends doing that just because it probably does make life so much easier. But in the season of life I'm in right now, it just doesn't, I haven't found that balance. But try it. She uses Sundays. She preps everything on Sundays. She puts on her cute clothes, does her hair, switches her outfits, and she meal preps on Sundays. She makes all of her content for the week. I mean, that is amazing that she can do that. But, you know, it works for her. Trying to prep her mornings when it's a shit show. Yeah. No kidding. I did a braid tutorial. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm struggling with people posting for me on my hosted posts. I get a lot of comments, but no one wants to post for me. Honestly, I do the same thing with unfriending people. If I've messaged them 18 times, hey girl, all you have to do to get on my giveaway is post me. And they have not responded. Bye, Felicia. I don't want you on my page anymore, okay? You ain't getting any entries. See ya later, okay? I don't have time for that, all right? And I hope you don't win. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, like, see you later. Bye. I don't have time for it. Like, I only want people who are serious, okay? And the thing is, too, is sometimes Stacy wrote this. I don't even know if she's on, but I know that more people have this problem because Dakota and Ashley said the same thing. And like, I have the same thing too, but that's when you start having people post giveaways for you. So you send them the giveaways. You say like, hey, my friend Stacy's giving away $300. Drop your eye color below. And they tag you in it. And then you go and friend all those people. And at the bottom of the message, you say, okay, check your inboxes for a quick message. I never add the guys. That's just me personally. Because I have a family and a husband, and they think I'm, you know, they like hit on me or whatever. So I don't add guys, but I do the girls. And legit, that's how I've grown my network. I'm almost at like 5,000. I'm like almost at 4,000, I think, friends. I need to go through my Facebook, but that's what I do is I then grow my network so that my hosted posts are back up. Okay. So if you haven't tried that trick, that's a really great trick to do. But honestly, if someone just says they're going to do it for me and they don't, like, I delete them as a friend. Jenna?
Yeah, I've been adding on the end of my, hey, throw this up. I've been adding thanks for supporting my small biz. I feel like it's kind of pulling at the heartstrings a little bit more. It's more of a personalized message. I follow up. I say, hey, I'm entering names. Did you get a chance to put that up? And a lot of people are like, oh, crap, hold on, I got busy. Let me do it quick. So just obviously follow up with them. But same thing, if you're sending them 10 different, hey, this giveaway, put this up, and they're not putting anything up for you, I'm getting rid of them as well because, or unfriending them because
Yeah.
it's going to keep having you commenting and I'm spending, time. It's just kind of going back and forth. But yeah.
Sometimes too, like if you're finding that you're like having trouble getting a host to post to follow up, like I have never done this, but I know Brooke, if you want to speak on how you like, Brooke used to like legit print off her whole Facebook list and like go through them. I know Anna did this too and would like greenlight message. So if either of you guys want to tell them how you guys greenlight message for host to post.
Yeah, I can talk really
totally
quick.
Can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I can go really quick. So I don't print it off anymore because on Facebook, if you like go to your profile, I did this today, and you click on friends, and then you type in A. So I went through all the A's yesterday and messaged them and just asked them if they would make a post for me. If they don't reply, or if I've messaged them before, I'm deleting them. And then I went through the B's today because I was getting to a point where the same people were commenting on my posts and I needed new people to post for me. So that's what I do. I can put my messages in the chat too.
Yeah, throw them in the chat for us. I know, I want to get brave and do that. Gotta get brave.
One thing that I did want to add is I was having some host to post that I wasn't getting any comments. So kind of opposite, like, yeah, they're getting comments, but nobody's posting. I was getting some host to post that I wasn't getting any comments. And I went through and I friended like, I know you're supposed to do it like every day, but I did it like a whole bunch. And I got, the next time I did a giveaway, because it was all new, fresh people. And I got up a lot of host posts that way, just getting a new, fresh. Go figure, the KPI list works.
Yeah.
If you do what it says. But yeah, I just went through and I just added all these new friends. And my next host to post, the giveaway, I had a ton up because it was all fresh faces, all, people haven't seen that before.
Yeah, and sometimes if you guys interact, majority of the time, if you interact and do like, if you go through and comment at least 4 words on people's posts, prior to putting up your giveaway post, you're going to get tons more interaction on that giveaway post versus like not interacting at all for the last like day or two and then being like, why is nobody commenting? Honestly, it all goes back to the KPIs. And I'm actually going to have Amber on soon to just go over the KPIs with us and really dig into those and tell us all the goods. Amber Parker's who created those. She test run it with her team. Did we answer that good enough for you guys? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, Dakota, you're good. Okay. Hopefully you guys got some good answers to that. Okay, Megan asked, what's too much to post on stories? How often should I post on my FB? What should be the first thing I complete on my KPI before anything else in managing time with a 9-month-old? Okay, the first things I complete on the KPI are the things I hate the most. Yeah, I said it. I did. I hate messaging and I hate interacting. And so those are the first things I do. One, I interact because whatever I post up is going to obviously get more. And then messaging, so many people think that like you wait on people to come to you to tell you that they're interested. Okay. And host to post is a great way to weed out the people who you're like, I don't know if they want it or do they don't, I don't know. Because they tell you, yes, I'm interested in a cleanse. But if you're not messaging out, you guys, so many people are interested in this business. You just have to plant that seed in their head. Most of the messages I send like 50 a day, 40 are probably PDT and 10 are product, just because I don't think that they'd be like, not that they wouldn't be good. I don't know if they need the income or anything like that, but just because like their Instagram, I only message on Instagram. I don't know why. I don't have a reason, but I just think I get more response on Instagram. And right, you just have to start somewhere. So I always suggest either start with like 3 to 5 things that are easy, or start with the things you don't like doing first so you can do the things that you like after. Because to be honest with you, I can do the whole KPI list in a day and not even realize it some days. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, I just added 50 friends because I host post. Oh, I just messaged 50 people because I host post. Oh, I just put up my story and then a post on my wall and stuff like that. So that's what I do. What do you do, Jenna?
Same thing. In terms of, what was the one?
It said, what should she do on KPI first?
Yeah.
It's really a
no.
personal preference.
I think the same thing. I think the most important thing is the messaging because, like I said, you can put up a post, but if you don't have, 20 people commenting on, you're not going to find the people interested. So I think messaging would be definitely the most important.
Yeah, I know Kara would definitely say that. I never think that there's too much on stories, but I do think that you need to deliver real life to stories. I think that when your views go down, it might be because you're just posting all the business. Like if your stories has nothing about your day or you in it or you speaking, people will buy you guys before they buy the product. Yeah, they could see a Skinny Brew 200 times, but if you're not using it, if you're not talking about it, if you're not talking about the benefits, and by talking about it, I mean like holding your phone up, pushing hands free, and then saying like, oh my God, you guys, I just had my skinny coffee this morning. I have life in me today. Like they love hearing that stuff. And the cool thing is when you're brand new, you often think I'm not good enough. Like I don't, like that's how I felt at least. I was like, I can't be like her, but we aren't, you do not need to be anybody but you, because that's your ticket to success is yourself. You know what I mean? So just work with your own stuff. And I definitely think that if you are having issues with just your stories, or if you're not sure about your stories, you definitely need to talk more on your stories. That's my advice on the story part. But what do you think, Jenna?
I agree with that. I've had a couple girls on my team say, they're not getting interaction with their stories. They're not, and I said, literally everything that you're posting could be from anybody. I said, you need to make it personable. I said, when was the last time, what you said, Stacy, you held a picture or did a video holding a coffee mug, or just showing,
just talking.
just
I don't even know how to say that, but
so
yeah.
important. Exactly. Because people are going to relate to you. They're going to relate. You can post Pinterest pictures all day long. They're beautiful, but people aren't going to buy from that until you step out of the comfort zone. And I'm still working on that. I'm, 100% guilty. I'll be like, oh, I haven't shown my face in 3 days. I should probably, jump on there. And you can do videos. You can, obviously save them, reshare them. But I just think I did that today, like a video of how I made my coffee was from 2 months ago. But I was like, I didn't have time today, but I wanted to show people me using the product, me, how I make it, just talking to them. So I think that's a huge thing. If you aren't having interaction, you're not having engagement, you need to just step in front of the camera.
I love that. And Facebook, you guys, they always say, what are you going to say, Sarah? You don't have to put it in the comments. Unmute yourself, sister. I don't have time to read it.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Rachel Jones, I saw one of her stories, and she had somebody message on there, literally a personal message. It was probably as long as what I just sent. She's like, I love your stories. I love your content because they're her, they're of her kids, and she's not screenshotting and just copying it on there. I copy a lot from Stacy and Kara and just do a picture of me and my dogs, and I'm just like, hey, I have 10 codes. Hey, I have this. Just do the little sayings like that. So I feel
we're not saying don't post those.
Yeah.
But weed them in with your real life too. Because if you look back at your archive of your stories and you're like, oh crap, that's why no one's looking at them, because they're all stock photos. That's when you kind of know that you have to share more of you, because people want you. You guys, we're working on social media. They don't want, they can find these products by anybody. And look at the Zoom. How many people are on this Zoom? Let's see. 24 people are on this Zoom. So if they don't like your content, or if somebody else follows up with them or messages them or whatever, it's they'll find another distributor. So you just have to be the best you can be to be authentic. That's all we're saying, is be authentic. How often should I post on Facebook? I have my little rule of thumb is I like to post 3 times. I like to usually post a product post a day, a life post, and like something funny or like inspiring. That's like my rule of thumb, because I don't want to be an overload. And some days are different. Some days I have a lot to say. You know what I mean? Some days I post 7 times, and some days I only post 2. It just depends. I think the less you think about how often you're posting, and you think about the content and quality of your posting, of what you're posting, like, it will be retrieved better. Does that make sense? Okay. Jenna, do you want to add that? Any?
I would just probably say I do the same because I follow the cats. So I'm just following you guys.
You're so funny. All right, cool. And then managing with a 19-month-old. Okay, Megan, if I can do this shit with a 4-year-old, or no, I don't even have a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, I'm like losing it. 6-year-old, 2-year-old, and 4-month-old, you can do it with 1. Okay. So I'm just saying, it's a little tough love, sister. You just got to fall into a groove. Anna, how do you do it with Madison? What is your time management skills? I feel like you have good time management skills.
I do pretty much have like a morning routine for myself, or like a daily routine that I try to follow every single day. And over time of being in the business, it'll be my 2 years in February, but like my kid knows that when it's time for me to work, it's time for me to work. Just as my husband knows that. So it's like, I don't dictate my schedule about what works for everybody else for me to work my business. I do what I need to do for my business, and everybody else accommodates it, which sounds really selfish, but I feel like you have to be selfish sometimes, you know. And I get mom guilt sometimes or whatever. Look at her. She's like, she should be in bed right now. It's not happening. But like, that wasn't part of the schedule today, you know. So not every single day needs to look perfect, but it does help to sort of set a schedule. But for the most part, especially when you have kids, just do the best you can and follow the daily tasks.
And thank you, Anna, for touching on that. I'll say I have to wake up early in order for me to get my stuff done in the morning. Like, have to. Because my sleep schedule is crazy between 2-year-old sleep regression and 4-month-old. So it's like, I must wake up. And if I don't, my whole day is off. Okay, the last 2 days I didn't wake up at 6 a.m. Or I did, to post and then to comment. But then after that, I was like, I gotta go back to bed for an hour and a half before they wake up and like yell at me. So it's like, my bosses are not a traditional boss anymore, but it's, I have 3 mini bosses that like dictate my day. And it's like, I do my stuff, you know. And my husband knows that like at nighttime, it's usually me Zooming or jumping on a Zoom. And this season is slow season. I'm still doing it. Like, I'm still showing up every day. And another thing I'll say with like self-development, I don't even know if this is a question on here, but with self-development, you guys, if you're not weeding it in whenever you can, you guys, I take walks and I put my AirPods in. Ireland's like telling me all about what she sees, and I'm like, oh yeah, good job, yeah. Like, I just like humor her, okay? But it's like, I literally like put my AirPods in. If I'm in the car alone, I'm listening to a podcast or I'm listening to that. So it's like, literally, I'm doing as much as I can in my alone time, and my alone time is never silence. I'm always learning. My favorite podcast is Pam Souter. I always get something out of Pam Souter, as well as like, for me, I love Steve Furtick's sermons. Like tonight I listened to one and it just filled me up. And sermons are self-development. Like, that's just filling your soul with good stuff. And then I love Ashley Mayfield. Yes, she just started hers and it's really good. Or started being consistent. Anything else we should add on that, Jenna?
I think you got it.
Okay. Kenzie said, how to not feel lost or overwhelmed when you're just getting started. Okay, so Morgan Martin says that she likes to hold her newbie's hands like a toddler in a parking lot, and that is how you need to really lean in on your enroller, and if they're still in the business, because some people, you enroll and they quit, but your diamond probably isn't going anywhere. So find someone in the business or like the group chat, like ask all the questions you need to. Like, we want you guys to come to us, especially if you're new, when you have a question. Like, if you need something, just let us know, because we're not mind readers. And set a standard for yourself. Say, I'm going to post, like my newbie from 2 weeks ago was like, I'm going to post 1 time a day. Like, that's what she can do right now. And that's what she is comfortable doing. So I'm like all for it. Right. And so I would say you just have to set the standard for yourself, because if you don't do anything, then nothing's going to happen for you. You're going to get to your 30 days and you're going to be like, oh crap, I didn't get my 6 loyal customers. Or if you only start working, after your first month or third month, or maybe you're like Katie Bowen, who waited 3 years. But what do you think? How would you respond to that, Katie? Like, how to not get lost or overwhelmed?
Like, at any phase of the process, just staying tuned in and not getting too far away from the fire, because what happens when you step away?
It fizzles.
You get cold. It sucks. It's not fun. It's hard to get back in it. Everyone that makes it to the top of this company goes through that, but they learn from it and they grow from it. And that's why everyone will always tell you, like, come to us, like, ask us questions, talk to us daily, because we want you to get there faster than we did. We don't want you guys to make the same mistakes that we did.
Right.
So just staying tuned in, even whenever it's 9 o'clock at night and you haven't done your KPI list, don't go to bed and say, I'll do it tomorrow. Do it tonight.
I love it. And that's too, no, it's okay. I'm just saying, the KPI list, you guys, they just came out with that, like, publicly, like as the company, or like for the company. And it's like, if you don't know where to start, just start there. Then the next week, let's just all get there, okay? Like 10 times faster. Okay. Kenzie also asked how to not overwhelm people when I'm trying to get them to order. Okay, so Kenzie, my best advice is to create your follow-up list. Okay, so get just a list of paper or piece of paper, or if you're not a paper person or whatever, however you want to do it, in your notes. I know Katie uses her notes in her phone a lot because she's like, oh, I just gotta remember this, and she's always on the go. However you want to follow up or create your follow-up list, and know that you guys, if you guys don't have a large follow-up list, you need one. That means that you're not talking to enough people a day. Okay. I watched a Zoom today and Tamika Davis said, or I think that's her name. I don't know. Tamika, I don't know. But she said, our team set a goal of having 30 people that we talk to in a day. And I was like, wow, 30 people. That's a lot of people a day. But it's like, if you're messaging, that's like, for me, my statistic is like, if I message 50, then I'm going to hear from like possibly 10, and probably 3 of them are going to be no's. Or I'm going to have a conversation with them and then it's going to go nowhere too. So you just have to up your numbers, okay, to create a bigger follow-up list. And then you just constantly are adding to that list. So it's like a snowball, okay? So like, it kills me when someone's like, oh, I have had the same 3 PDTs for like, I don't know, 2 months. And I'm like, what are you doing? Come on, girl. Get out there and ask for more people to join your team. Like, you are worthy and you are a great leader and they should join you. So what's stopping you? And they're like, oh, I just don't know what to send. And I'm like, oh God, you should have told me that 2 months ago. Here's a message. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's like, if you don't have a big follow-up list is better than all the loyal customers and all the distributors ever for me, because I know I've been doing my job of planting seeds, and right now it is planting season. So get out those shovels, people, and start doing the work. That's my advice on that, just because. And here's another thing too. It's your job to overwhelm people and to feel overwhelmed.
Say that.
Okay, so talk about that.
Yeah, no, my biggest thing was when you're starting, you don't want to feel pushy or salesy, but I know me, if you're not being pushy or salesy with me, I'm going to forget about you. So like, I know me personally, if you're messaging me and you're reminding me, okay, I have to get back to this person, I appreciate that. So a lot of people, especially when they're starting out, oh, I don't want to message them too much. No, do it, because half the time people are like, thank you, I forgot about this, I got so busy
Mhm.
with life. And I'm like, girl, I totally understand. So I think that was a big thing of mine when I was starting out. Oh, I don't want to seem too pushy, but people need pushy, and you're not going to get the sales.
And this is like your
follow-ups.
business.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like this is your business. And I love it when people, I've heard top earners say, and this totally resonates to me because my email is full of them. And I know that it would make Katie go nuts because there's like 30,000 emails that are unread, and it's probably making her butt pucker and sweat. But for real, I do not check emails. I only read the ones that are important, and then I leave all the rest on unread. But you know what all those are? Carter's, Old Navy, American Eagle. Like, they're all things that I like type my thing in to get 10% off, and then I never respond. But guess what? When Carter's has a great sale like they did today, and I get a deal on 4 pairs of shoes for my kids for $50, I'm gonna order it. But I didn't know about that. They send me text messages like, when did I even sign up for that? So it's like, that's their job. They know they're gonna get the sale if they remind you. Right. So it's your job to be in people's inboxes. And you know what? Sometimes if I feel like if I feel like I'm being annoying, I'm like, hey, I don't want to bother you. Like, let me know if you're not interested anymore. I'll take you off my follow-up list. Because I don't want to be annoying. But at the same time, it's my job. You know what I'm saying? So there's a fine line. But if you feel like you're being annoying, just say, hey, girl, I don't mean to be a bother. And then they're like, oh, my God, I totally forgot. And you're like, okay. Okay, Sam.
I also like the one, Kara actually got me on this one to sign up as a distributor because I was kind of nervous, and I was like, I'll just see how far I can ignore. But she's like, I hope I didn't offend you. And then I was like, oh my God, no, you didn't. I'll sign up.
Yes. Yes.
So I use that. Like, if I have somebody that I am like super interested in, I'm like, I know the product, or I know they'd be really good at this business, I'll totally drop the event because it worked for me. It worked for me.
Yeah. I love that. And like, sometimes I think we need to remind ourselves too, because this is why you constantly want a roll of, like, I'm talking like a scroll, like back in the day when they like did things on these little roll paper things. Like, if yours doesn't roll off and go 800 feet, you're doing something wrong. But it's like, you need to have a constant thing of PDTs, and we constantly have to be asking you guys, the best product we have is the business, a Rolodex. You would know that. But for real, like, we need to have a constant, like, drop in the chat what is your number for the rest of the year of how many people you want to add to your follow-up list a day. For me, it's going to be 15. I will feel very accomplished every day if I have 15 people who are solid leads. Not that I'm just messaging and they like it or they comment, but 15 people who I have an honest conversation with that I can follow up with. I love it. I think that's great. So remind yourself that before you go to bed every night, be like, did I get my 15? And then think about this. If you didn't get your 15 and you only got 7, you got to add 8 tomorrow. Okay? So that should be your goal. When you're thinking, did I do my job today? Well, think about how many conversations you had. And if you didn't have many, then wake up tomorrow and do double. Because planting the seed is everything. Everything. Okay. What do you do when your stories and posts aren't getting interaction from anybody? I love that. Anna, I'm going to have you speak on how you like clean up your page. Talk about how you clean up your page. How like I know like just in the past like few days in our like tasks or whatever, you put like take a minute to clean up your page.
Oh yeah, well, because I think that really does help, and I don't really get too involved with like the algorithms or anything like that. And Lauren Casamatis does an amazing
figure those
video.
out anyways.
on algorithms in the 2020 Visioncaster. So go and watch that. But I just kind of did this myself because I'm like OCD, but I want my Facebook profile to look a certain way. And I'm very, very picky about the way that it looks. Like if I have like 5 posts floating around that have 0 likes, 0 comments, or you're sharing things from memories, like put your memories in your stories. That's what I do. Quit sharing a bunch of crap to your Facebook wall and like memes and stuff. And if you have your Facebook profile just filled with a bunch of crap that nobody cares about, then that's going to decrease your visibility. So that's why I've been putting that in the polls lately, is go clean up all the dead stuff. And if you go to my profile and you see all my posts have just crazy comments and likes, it's because I clean it up. Like it's not
You're
always
very
perfect.
intentional.
Yeah, I make sure that it looks like
How much time
people
does that
want
take
to
you?
talk to me. What's that?
How much time does that take you?
Not long at all. Like whatever, like you just go to your profile, and if something, like this morning I deleted a post, and it was I think it was like a product post or something I had put up, but it was like only girls that were on our team liked it, and a couple people commented. Boom, I'm done. Get rid of it. Like I don't care. You know, like I love the support that we all give each other, but like it's gone. You know.
And
so,
sometimes it's just like the time of day you put it up or your interaction that day. So sometimes, like if it's on Instagram, I archive it. And then, or like on Facebook, I just do hide from timeline so I can go back to it and I can post it again. So I still have that post. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But other people can't see it.
yeah, Instagram's good for that. I like that about
Yeah.
Instagram, but
Yeah. I would say up your interaction. If you're only doing the 10 minutes, Dakota, then do 15. Like if you up your interaction and you expect more out of yourself, like if 10 minutes isn't working for you, then do 15. Like up it, right? And then I've even participated in other small businesses and I interact with them a lot. It's crickets. If it's crickets, then you just up your interacting. That's how I feel. Has anybody else figured that out?
I think, like you said, just doing personal stuff too. If you're just posting about the business, people are going to get bored. They want to see about your life. So I've caught myself, I'm posting like about It Works over and over and over, and I'm not getting, but then I put something up about you know, my kids or my life or what I did, or, you know, home decor, just to get people engaged. And then next time I post something, I seem to have better interaction.
I'll say too that if you post something and a lot of the people who see my posts, they message me. Okay. So they don't necessarily comment or like, but they'll message me. So don't think that they're not watching or they didn't see it. People are very, you know, if they're not in this whole network marketing thing, people are shy. They're scared to show you that they're interested. Okay. And that's okay. But just keep that in mind. And I'll tell you this about PDTs too. I would say half the PDTs who've joined my team, I didn't even know were interested. I didn't even know that they were watching. So that doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue posting. And here's the deal too. My life posts always get less. That's just like what it is. Because people are like, oh yeah, she's posting about her job again, or she's posting about It Works. But guess what? Kathy is watching, and she's been watching. And she's going to message me if I don't message her first. And she's going to be like, listen, I see what you're doing, girl. I'm ready. Okay. I had a girl yesterday, Tasha. She posted on my poll because we did like a 20-minute opportunity thing. And yeah, you were a thief in the night watching me. You're right, Heather. Crazy girl. She's like, hey, you got a 50% coupon now. Totally join. And I was like, okay, here you go. And I like didn't think she was going to join. And now she's like going diamond. And that's the other thing. You guys never know who your next diamond is. So take a look at your downline. If you have a downline and be like, have I poured into her lately? That's part of leadership, you guys. It's hard. Everybody wants to go ruby. Everybody wants to go diamond. But guess what happens at diamond? You're responsible for people. Okay. And it gets harder. Okay. And that's the thing too, is like, you can't just pray for things and expect for them to show up in your lap. You guys got to work for it too. I know I went off on a tangent. All right, let's see. Do you message people that have not responded on your polls? Yes. Like we said earlier, you're going to message like 50 people a day. The best way that I do this is by going to my friends list and doing the ABCs, okay, on Instagram. My followers, people I follow. Is that what you do, Jenna?
Yeah, I remember when I was going for Double Diamond, I would just send out messages. I didn't even think I really did the host to post. I just said, hey, I'm going for a huge promotion. I said, would you do me a favor and put this post up for me? And I got a lot of people to put it up that way. And then also, I started messaging people if they just liked my post. You didn't necessarily have to comment on it, but I just said, I saw you liked this post I put up about the cleanse. Would it be okay if I send you some information? So they don't have to necessarily drop an emoji, but if they're liking it, they're somewhat interested. So don't be afraid to message them too about that.
I agree. And you know
really
what?
Quick?
Yeah.
That was me, Heather J.
I'm
Do you guys watch who's like watching your stories too? Because a lot of times, like I usually try to jot it down. It's like kind of the same group of people. So if you're not messaging the people who are like watching your story, especially the ones who are really creeping you, you're missing out. Because like,
I agree.
what are they going to say? No. You know what I mean? Like they're either going to say yes or no, and they're watching you. Like I have people who literally avidly just like watch me, and some of them are like, no, we're not really interested in the products. We just really enjoy watching your life. Cool, keep watching. You know?
Yeah.
So like that's a good easy way.
You know what?
to,
Maybe
like,
one day
message
they'll be
people.
interested in the business.
Right.
Or I get a lot of referrals. I know we're like totally not a referral based business, but if someone's friend is like, oh my God, I feel so bad, I can't get in my swimsuit, they're like, girl, you need to call my friend Stacy. Like you want to be the girl who they call when they're feeling thick and they're feeling chubby and a little fluffy come January and they got to go on spring break. Okay. So it's like, you got to continue doing that, because I have sold so much product out of my own stuff, which is why you run your ADBV auto shipment. But I have sold so much stuff because they know what I do. Even if they're not going to use it, they know who to go to. I sold like $280 to somebody who was getting married in like a week because it was a referral. I was like, please come back when you need more, when you're going on your honeymoon. Okay. Stacy, I also dropped my messages that I've been sending. So my PDT messages, hey girly, so I wanted to ask a quick question. Haha. Have you ever considered using your social media to make extra income? I feel like you'd be perfect at what I do. If they have a following of more than 500 people, and if they know how to take a selfie, you getting a message, sister. Okay, that's my message I sent. And the other one is a product one that Kara sent me. Do you want to add anything to that, Jenna?
I think you
What message do you send?
for the distributors. Hold on. Let me get my text replacement. Put me on the spot. The one about your Instagram looks gorgeous. I think you'd be amazing at what I do. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Anyone else have it? I'm blanking right now.
No, I don't. That's okay. Just go to her message or her comment and just put it under there so she can see
Okay,
it.
I will.
Emily, you asked, how do you help DTs get fast started quick? Everybody kind of varies on this different, because you guys all know that you drop a, what number on 8? Drop a 8 in the chat if you've signed someone and they stopped working, like within, I don't know, an hour. Or if they don't call you back. Like, everybody should have an 8, okay? And if you don't have an 8, guess what, sister? You're going to have an 8 eventually, okay? So my thing with fast starts is I try to get everybody 2, even if I have to place them, okay? The first step I ask them to do when they sign up is, hey, girl, log into your eSuite, fill out your tax information, and then send me your website. I say, click settings and click website, and then send it to me. And so I have their website. Whether or not they quit, I'm going to earn my fast starts, because for me personally, would you throw away $150? Like, if somebody handed you $150, would you just light that shit on fire? No, you wouldn't. Drop a 9 right now if you've done that this year, because I have. Okay, as much as I preach this, it's tough when you are getting a lot, when you are a mass enroller. Okay, so Brooke, do you want to talk on this? Because I feel like you just mass enrolled all those people, and I want to know what you're doing to get your fast starts.
So I'm trying to work on a new training so I can train them all really quick. But I just like pretty much text them all every single day. And if they're not responding, I did get their website. Like Stacy said, I got that right away. It's in that training that's on That's a Wrap. It's like within the first few steps. So I have their website and I'm just going down, and when people give me their information, I'm ordering on their website. So I'm at least getting 4 customers for them, and then 6 if I can. But like I've enrolled, I don't even know, almost 20 DTs, so it's a little hard to get that many. I'm not enrolling as many customers, but that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just at least getting 4 so I get that $100 fast start, and then trying to get that 6th. But just really holding their hand, and if they're not going to reply, that's going to be normal, and just get their website and place on their website for them.
And you know what? You do have bright and shiny stars that get them themselves too.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feel like, oh God, every person I'm going to sign is going to be a dud, because they're not. You're going to have people who sign up and who do really well and go get, like I had a girl who was like, oh, I get samples, I'm going to sell them all. And she did it in 24 hours. And I was like, shoot, guess what? I told her she had 6 loyal customers. She went and got her 6. And then we were like, okay, you need 3 distributors. She went and got 3. So like, you just never know. And that's the thing too, is like, you can't like cop out someone and say like, oh, they're a dud. Okay. And just write them off. They might be your next diamond or the presidential that takes you ambassador. Like, you never really know until like they signed up for a reason. You know what I mean? So it's like in 6 months, they might have get pregnant, or they might have a death in the family, or they might lose their job or whatever. So it's like, you just never really know. So that's what Morgan McIntyre says. There's such a good video that you need to watch, Emily. It's Morgan McIntyre, and it's Poppin' Rubies. And that literally, Brooke, if you want help doing the newbie train or newbie whatever, like I would love to help you, love to just see what you're doing, but because I've been thinking about that too. But anyways, you guys need to watch that if you need help with training new distributors, or the implement the face-to-face. That was so good too. Yeah. The last 2 people I've signed, I've gotten them on a phone call. We've talked about their goals. We've talked about how they can work the business in their day. So I asked them, like, what does your routine look like? Okay, perfect. And then, one has stepped back from the business, and that's okay. And the other one was the one that said, hey, send me a post every day. I just need to post it. It's like, okay. Like, she's hungry for it, but she wants to do it at her own pace, which is awesome. We kind of talked about what schedule works best for you. You just kind of have to figure that out. When people respond to your polls, what do you message them? I just say, hey girl, thanks for voting on the poll. Would you like more info? That's it. And if it comes back that they did it on accident, and the majority of the time it will, it's okay. But the other day, that Tasha girl said she voted on the poll, and I was like, oh God, she probably did this on accident. I told myself that in my head, and she didn't. She was like, hey, I so appreciate you messaging me. I've been watching you for so long, and I need to know more about this because I need to switch up. You know what I mean? So it's like she jumped on my opportunity call last night, and it's like she learned about the business, and it might not be the right time for her, but still, like, just the fact that she voted on it. So just ask if they'd like more info. That's the quickest. How to master your mindset. Who wants to talk about that one? Jenna? Or anybody?
Yeah, no, I can do that. I used to reach out to Kara and just say, this is not working. I don't know what's going on. And she would yell at me. And she said, it's all about your mindset. I think one thing right now, it is slow, like you said. And I think the best thing that you can do is just to dive in deeper. That's why when you guys were talking about doing a Zoom, I was like, I'll be on it, because I think same thing Katie said, if you step away from the fire, your mindset, you're going to just have this negative mindset, and you're going to get negative reactions. So I think if you say, I'm going to do this, I'm a loyal customer enrolling machine, and you just keep telling yourself that over and over and over, that you're going to get better results than otherwise.
Yeah. Brooke, will you talk about mindset? Because when you were going through your first trimester, I know you were having a hard time. And now it's like you're just here halfway through. You just signed 20 people. So talk about that switch that you made.
Yeah, so when I first got pregnant, I was just not feeling good and I was just being down on myself because it was hard for me to work. I was just making excuses. So one day I just decided I was not happy with where I was at, and I just decided that I needed to do more. So when I wake up, I try not to look at my phone. It's kind of hard, but I at least read a devotional or something. I have like 20 million books. Hi God, it's me again. I just read one devotion before I like look at my phone. And then I write down like positive affirmations in my journal. And that takes like maybe 5 minutes. And I just say like, I am Ambassador Diamond. I am attracting LCs and they're ordering multiple products. My TikToks are blowing up. I just write stuff like that. And then 5 things I'm grateful for. And then I read for like 5 to 30 minutes, whatever I have time for that day. And I think that's so like game changing. Even if you have to wake up like 10 minutes earlier to do something like that, it's going to like set your day out so differently. Because if I don't do it one day, I can tell like I don't enroll, I don't want to do the work, I'm just in a bad mood. So I have to make sure I get that in. And I think that's just like totally game changing.
I like that.
I think too, like, that's just so important for life, not even the business. Like, we drop a 9 if you, or whatever number, I don't even know. Drop a number, drop emoji, drop a high five, whatever. If this business has given you so much more than income because of the self-development that you've done. Like, for me, that's just an added bonus that I never really knew that I needed. I used to like make fun of people who did self-help, and now I'm like, shoot, have you read that book? Like, I'm like, sign me up, because I want to be the best version of me. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's that hidden little gem that people don't know they need. And it's like, sometimes that might be the link that you're missing for your next promotion. Okay. So if you've taken a break on the self-development, or maybe you haven't even started, then you need to dive in. And I'm not saying take a break from working your business. I'm saying make it the first part of your day. Cami Pentecost said self-development was always the last thing on her list. And if she didn't get to it, she didn't get to it. And then she said, one day I woke up and I said, nope, it's going to be the first thing on my list. And she goes, that's when everything changed, because I made it for myself. And for some of us who are moms, or who work full time, or who are just busy as heck, okay, or who are just in a season of life, sometimes that self-development is the only me time I get. Okay, so keep that in mind as too. All right, I know we went way past an hour. Do you guys have any more questions? Anything we can help you guys get? You know, it's always that door is always open. If you guys liked this Zoom, how to get your spouse on board. Renee, that comes with time, and it's going to come with a really hard conversation, but I'm going to give you the best advice I can. You got to add a comma into the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my husband and I interviewed Kara and Justin, and it was a really good interview of just like the men's perspective. And you know, drop a 1 if your husband wasn't on board but now is, or still gives you a hard time. Same. So here's the deal with that is, like, sometimes I remember I had to have a conversation with my husband, and I was like, listen, I don't really care what you think, but I don't want to hear any negativity about this because you're holding me back. I remember I wrote that in a journal. It was a prompt that said, what's holding you back? And I said, my husband. And I freed myself of that. I didn't let it hold me back. We could do a whole other Zoom on that. But look that Zoom up. It's on Brooks's. And it's so good. But take an hour and listen to that. All right, guys. I love you. And whatever questions you guys have, our door is always open. So just message one of us. Okay? Sleep, wake up, and do your self-development. All right.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye.